5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the Boulder Zone. Raw talk. Real issues. Basic truth. Edgy humor. Sage advice. Here's your host, Marco Boulder.
Hey, fellow interwebbers, thanks for tuning into the zone. We have got a good show for you today. On deck is our usual brand of no frills relationship talk and jocularity, but no Stuart Smalley around here. No, but I hear for a fee his plush earth tone sofa and sensitive dialogue can be rented elsewhere if you are so inclined. So, with that, I'm going to be answering some questions from you guys today. But to help me with that, rocking the sidekick chair from the executive suite upstairs is the always fetching Miss Blondie Loxx. How are you, Blondie?
Hey, I'm doing great, Marco. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing, I wish I was as fetching as you are. You're looking great today.
Oh, thank you. You say the sweetest things.
Oh, how about that? So, how are things upstairs? You in the nice, beautiful executive office with your own private bathroom and all that fancy shit?
Well, I deserve it, so it's great.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So, with that, I'm going to have Blondie ask the questions today. So you don't have to hear my voice the whole time. You got something prettier to look at. And with that, we've got, let me see, our first question I see here's from Brandon. What is that, Blondie?
Brandon asks, what should I say when a girl says no when I ask her out on a date?
Oh, well, that's happened to all of us, hasn't it? You know what I like to say? Nobody likes to be rejected, right? Especially guys. It's kind of embarrassing if you're in a club or a bar or something like that and you see a really attractive chick and you want to ask her out, right? Now, there should be a little bit of verbal foreplay in front, maybe, buy a drink, whatever, and get the vibe there. But if it ends up being a no, what I like to do is this. It kind of puts things back on her. I'll say, oh, good. Phew. Now that that's out of the way, you're okay with us just being friends? Now, that does a couple of things here, okay? Because typically, when a girl doesn't want to go out with you or says no, she's polite about it, whatever, they typically, if you say why, well, because of this or that and the other thing, can we just be friends? Ain't, right? The friend zone. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're kind of turning that around, putting it on them. Let's find out if you really want to be friends. And who knows what'll happen. If she says, yeah, you guys pal around, maybe have a few beers, whatever, and it develops into something from that. Hey, it's better than just walking away, right? And letting it go. If there's something there, if there's an attraction there, maybe you can build something with her. Because women, and I think Blondie can attest to this, women tend to respond to obviously the physical appearance first, like we do, but they get tuned in into you, your humor and that sort of thing. And as long as you can stretch that out to kind of get them to dial into you a little bit, that's good. And if going into the friend zone is worth it for you, then do it. Now, if you're out just to get laid or something like that, then fuck it, walk away. There's 12 other chicks in the bar, right? But if you're looking for maybe a little bit more, that may be an approach you want to take. I'll throw it to Blondie, see kind of what she would how she would react to a response like that.
It honestly depends on my frame of mind at the time. I just told you no. I turned you down. I don't think I want to be your friend.
Nobody wants to hurt anybody unless you're one of these absolute bitches out there in the bar that thinks, your shit doesn't stink all the time. I've seen that more women, they're nice about it. They don't just say, you talk to them a minute and say, hey, you want to go out sometime? Fuck off. No. But you're in a bar, you're having a good time, you're having some drinks, having a little fun. You look like you look. You can expect guys coming up and asking you out possibly. We you and I have been out a few times, you know that, and I've seen how you are. You're a very nice person, very nice to everyone, and I think that's refreshing for you chicks out there. You can be on the hot list and that top 10%, and you don't have to be a bitch about it. Okay, so with that, let's go to our next question. I see here it's from Steven. What's that question, Miss Blondie?
I'm tired of my girlfriend asking me if her clothes make her look fat. I don't want to make her mad, so what should I say?
You got to wonder why she's asking you, first of all, right? A lot of times, I would say probably 8 times out of 10, women are just looking for affirmation. They just want their man to tell them, hey, I look good, right? But the problem comes in is when they don't. This kind of calls upon a little delicate communication, and you don't have to simp out on it or anything like that. But just turn her around, get her attention, say, hey, hun, I love you, right? Or like you, or think the world of you, or just say, hey, I'm not digging that too much. Got nothing to do with you. You're great, but that doesn't really work. Now, if she starts to get all pissy about it, we're moving into another area. She's got some self-esteem issues and that sort of thing. Depending on the level of your relationship, it depends on how deep you want to get into that. I think that if you've been in a relationship for a while, you should have already had those parameters established. But if you're in the onset, maybe you just moved in together, maybe you're over there when she's getting dressed and she tells you that, kind of got to call that as you see it. What you think, Blondie? What do you think about that?
Well, a very good friend of mine often tells me that if I don't want the answer to the question, don't ask it.
Could that be your boss downstairs?
Bingo.
Yeah, you know what, folks? I'm not being a dick when I say that. Honestly, I think we need to be more truthful with each other, right? Don't ask a question if it's going to elicit a negative response. And if it does, be prepared for it and don't get your panties in a wad about it. The guy should have the right to answer you like a fucking guy, right? And not have to sit there and go, okay, well, you know what? I don't want to think. She thinks I don't. And get your mind. We don't work the same way. Women, their thoughts are like a bowl of spaghetti. They're just all like that. They're just all tied up and twisted around, and they can work through all that shit. Obviously, there's emotion. There's the pasta that's the emotion, and there's the pasta that's the feeling. It gives me a headache just thinking about it. Guys, we are linear, right? Pretty much what we say is what we mean. Now, we all are in varying levels and that sort of thing, but I'm just speaking of the typical guy. That's kind of how we think. And gals, if you just remember that we don't have anything wrapped up in our answer that we're giving back to you, we're just answering your question. That's all. That's all it is. That's it. We're giving you our honest opinion. That's it. Now, if you, guys, don't be a dick. Don't try to get all fucking over alpha. Next question.
All right. Looks like our next question is from Vince. So many women on social media say, where are all the good men? Don't they really mean, where is my perfect man?
Where are all the good men? Yeah, you know what? I see that too. I think women have this box for a perfect man. Okay. It comes from their childhood, princess thinking and all that, Prince Charming, White Horse Castle, all that stuff, I'm sure. Obviously, remember that nobody's perfect. Okay. But I don't think that's what you mean here. If these women are absolutely only looking for that, they're going to get old and lonely with 20 cats because he's just not out there. Her perfect man has to be as perfect as he can be. You shouldn't have to go and change yourself to be attractive to someone else. And especially in the dating world, because I think that's where the problem comes out. We get all dressed and do our thing, and go out there and we put on airs and be somebody that we're not. You have to present yourself as who you are. Now, if you've got a problem with gas, you fart all the time or something, come on, put a cork in it for that night. Things like that. Okay. But as far as being out there, you make sure that you are the best person that you can be. And if she likes it, you're going to know. So, next question.
All right. Our next question is from Mitch. I don't know how it started, but I can't take my wife nagging and putting me down anymore. I want to leave. What should I say to her?
Okay, you said wife. Okay, so wife. So obviously there's a commitment there. And this is something that Mitch, if you're tuned in, just give me a call or something. I think there's a little bit more here to delve into. But to generally answer your question, if your wife is nagging you and putting you down, I tell everybody, guys, all the time, look back at yourself. See if you are actually the catalyst for that. Go back and think about where it started. When did she start doing this? And then think about where you were at and what you were saying, the situation around it. Instead of blaming everyone else, look at yourself first. Make sure all your boxes are checked. Make sure that your shit is in line before you start going after somebody else. It could have been something very innocent, a habit you have, something you say that she's never really brought up to you before, and it's just wearing on her. Maybe you guys have gotten into your little marriage rut. You go to work, she goes to work, somebody watches the kids, that sort of stuff. You come home, you're wore the fuck out. You get your beer, you sit in your lazy boy, and you watch Monday Night Football. But you know what? I don't think that women are doing enough to communicate when they start feeling that way toward their man. Ladies, it's okay. If you feel that, if you're sensing something, let him know right away. Don't sit on it. Don't let that shit build up and then all of a sudden, blah, and you just throw up all over him. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Because keep in mind, your spaghetti's all doing this and he's right here. He'll understand an agreement you have or a rule that you guys have. And for the most part, he'll stick with it. He'll stay right there with it. He may say something in following that path that makes you go, what was that about? And then it gets up in your brain and starts crossing spaghetti strings and starts getting all like this and that. Well, maybe he meant this. And, I saw him talking to him and I thought I heard him say to her, oh my God, I think I'm having an aneurysm right now trying to think that way. My point is, ladies, let him know right away when something bothers you. It can't be a nagging thing either, because he's just going to shut the fuck down. He's just going to go, if it's one of these things, when I saw you the other day, it really bothered me. He's just going to go, oh God, you've got to sit down away from the TV, whatever, and just ask him. It doesn't have to be some major, confab that you all have. Just sit down and say, honey, let me ask you something. And ask. You said this. I don't know if I took it the wrong way or not. What did you mean by that? And let him answer. And take what he fucking says to heart. All he wants to do is find a solution for himself and for you and move on. And you should too. Okay. Next question. Do we have another? Yeah, next question.
We do. And this is from Anonymous.
Oh.
Why Yes. Why do these average looking women seeking a man act like such bitches on social media? And what's with all the photo filters?
Oh, okay. So this is another one that that we've seen a lot. I'm sure you guys have as well. Why they act like bitches? Because they can. You know what? I think to a certain extent, maybe not to that level, they are kind of painting themselves, presenting themselves in who they would like to be. That goes in the photo filters a little bit. But yeah, I agree. There's because you get some hot pictures up there that you've made up, got the makeup on, the photo filters, doesn't mean that you have to fucking be a bitch about it. You know, there's a lot of chicks out there that aren't like that, but more and more there are. Why do they have to be a bit? I think they just kind of they're in their little comfort zone there, and they want to present themselves as something here when they're really here. Maybe they know that, maybe they don't. Photo filters. Yeah, you asked specifically about photo filters. I've got a quick cast out there, right, Blondie, on
Yeah,
photo filters.
yeah.
Check that out. It's kind of more fun than anything else. But I think that folds right back into what I'd already mentioned. You know, everybody wants to think of themselves as up here. All right. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to be real about it. You can't be fake about it. This whole deceptive packaging, and if they pick up a guy on Facebook or wherever and they go out with that guy, don't they think there's going to be an issue when that guy shows up and goes, I was looking for Jennifer. Oh, I'm Jennifer. Uh, Jennifer, in the pictures, you had all your teeth. Yeah, ladies, you're just setting yourself up for failure, for rejection. And what does that do? That brings them back into the social media hating men. Do you see how ugly this is? This circle of just, if people would just stop and present themselves as they are. Hey, you know, the little filter here, whatever, little makeup, that's fine. Okay. But present yourself for who you are. And this other shit, you didn't ask about this, but women, why in the hell would you want to put out there that don't fuck with me? I'm a queen bitch. And I guess you're not interested in having friends. But But I think the bottom line here is everybody should just stop the bullshit, stop the fake shit. You want to make yourself look a little prettier, a little handsomer, trim up the fucking beard, maybe take that ball cap off. Ladies, don't go so heavy with the fucking filters. And man, I'll tell you what, I I will bet you, I will guarantee you that things will be getting a little more positive if you eject the assholes and present yourself in more of a positive, real fashion, right? Easy shit, right? All common sense shit. And this is what I talk about. This is what I talk to people about. Getting down to basics, getting into the basic inherent truths that are in you, in me, over there in Blondie, and all of us. That's what this show is about. And what I really appreciate is when you guys give me the call. We'll take your video call. We'll take your phone call. We'll take your messages like here. So those are the questions. Miss Blondie, thank you for looking so fetching, I think I said, and being such a wonderful co-host, sitting in, rocking that chair over there. Is there anything you want to say to anybody out there before you leave? Just say bye.
I'll
Anything?
say bye. Thank you for
Okay.
having me.
You're most welcome. And we'll see you upstairs after work, okay? So you can tell me everything that I did wrong. All right. Okay. That's the show today. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you give me a call, like I said. Check out all the web shit the YouTube, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, all that. I'm just getting that shit up to speed because, guys, I'll be honest with you, that is not my thing, and that's why it's taking me so long to get out to you guys. Because I can talk with the best of them, but as far as all that shit, it kind of bores me a little bit. Unless I can get into a conversation with someone, then it's cool. Then I really like it. Okay. So yeah, make sure you do that. You like this, hit the subscribe, hit the like, and I will see y'all next time. And remember what I'd like to tell you one-on-one.
Get bolder.